Okay, guys, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, so in our application, in the last session, we were trying to add a home page and an application page. Okay, so both we tried. So I gave you kind of, you can say, assignment to you guys to just find out why we are not able to see the home page. So if you can say someone found out, that's okay. If no, so only issue is that we don't get this name what we change of this home page visible there in the application. Okay, that's why we were not able to identify. It gets only named as home page only. So if you go to your application, okay, app manager, and okay, and then your application, this one, right? And if you edit it, and you go to navigation item, right? So here is your list. Here you see I have added home only. So if you try to find out the exact name that we have of this home page, right? And that is HMS home, right? But that we cannot find. The name is home only. So if you type here, other home page also you'll be finding. See, other home pages are also there, but some of those are found as like journey home, mobile home, but it was named as home only. Okay, so only thing is that you need to find which one is it is. Okay, and that's why we were able to you can say find it. You don't have to create any tab or something like that. Just home page, and you need to add it. Now, in our application, we were able to add two pages: home page and application page. Now, I already told you guys to go and visit all those components. We get standard components at least. Those we get as part of, you can say, drag and drop entities to put here in our pages. Okay, I have used some, that's why you are seeing this welcome text here. Okay, now slowly, as soon as we'll be moving as we'll be moving forward, right, we'll be utilizing those components, but obviously not all of those, right, because a lot of those are not having context here. So those are basically utilized for some other purposes also. Those we are not covering here. Okay, so just see what those entities are, and most of the entities will be using here, and you'll be getting to know how, why we are using it, and what they do actually. And in our app page, we are having simply this app page. We can say notified here that this is app page. Okay. Now we have two pages. What we have added here in our what is it, hotel management system, two pages. Okay. Now if you want to add some more thing like just account, I can say tab here, we can add it like that, right? So if we want to use standard entity, this is standard object tab, we can add it. Okay. Now what we are targeting, sorry, we are targeting to create our custom objects and custom entities here and then add it here. Okay, so that's what we are going to do, and let's close it or let it open. Okay, and then we'll be going to create a new object here. Okay, and what we'll be doing actually, okay, so this document that, okay, I said I will be uploading, but now it is the time we'll be starting on it. So in this application, this project will be going on along with the sessions. Okay, and in this only we'll be learning all the things. Okay, this will be total custom. So everything that is there in we can say Salesforce admin part, that will be doing using this application. Okay, for the demonstration and building those entities. Okay, now here you read out all these things what we'll be doing. Okay, what is the business requirement and everything. We have to capture the business requirement of any hotel management. Okay, so basically this application is having two parts. One part where you are managing your bookings and everything, okay, of rooms, how the staff member will be handling the room booking and all, right, and their guest management, right. Second part would be restaurant management. Restaurant is the part of hotel, right? So where you'll be having restaurant sales section in your hotel, right? So usually what we do, we complete the room management and guest management, but what, this restaurant management is a basically kind of assignment that students do themselves. Okay, so that will be guiding you through, but that you guys need to do on your own. Okay, in this application only you'll be having maybe a subsection, okay, that would be restaurant management. So that you can do, or you can have some application also, or other application also, that would be restaurant management. Okay, so this application purpose and everything that is defined there, just read it out. Okay, simple as that. We need to capture all the business requirement of any hotel that is doing guest management and room management. Okay, now, booking process you need to capture billing, you need to consider the room availability, the room is booked or not. Then you need to do service management of how many services you are providing to your guests, okay? And then hotel performance tracking. So here we'll be having a big change uh, from last, you can say, session. Here we'll be doing it using reports and dashboard only. Okay, performance management means how frequently your room are basically booked, okay, and what revenue you are getting, what expenditure you are doing and all. So everything by the reporting purpose. For the reporting purpose we'll be doing it using report and dashboards. Okay, so everything included in hotel management system is having two purposes. First, to basically build the application and build the process. Second thing, to cover a topic here in admin. Okay, so whatever you see, it is not about, you can say, building a full-fledged application and it should be in the App Store and anything like that. The main purpose is to include all the entries that we are trying to learn here in this, you can say, index. Okay, so target of this application is to include every entity here so that you can learn everything using this application. That's the way, right? Otherwise you will be skipping things and will not be able to capture those. Okay, so that's what the motive is here. But obviously, if you see from the business purpose, the application will be taking care of the business process of these entities. Okay, now first step would be create your application that we already have done. Okay. Then second step would be create pages at least, so that here we can show the cumulative information, means the collective information. Maybe later we'll be putting here our reports and dashboards also. We'll be putting some common information here also, just like we have in sales application, right? So we have collective information in home page and maybe in app page also. Okay. Rest of tabs, here we are saying these are tabs. Okay, rest of the tabs, are going to be for of objects. Okay, so what we need to do first, we need to create some objects here. Okay, and that would be room, guest. Okay, so bookings, we talked about object. What are those? Those are tables here. Okay, and these are columns. Okay, so we need to create these tables so that we can store data in it. Okay, now let's create one you can say object, and then we'll talk about you can say data type and these columns. We'll be creating these columns also. Okay, now room. You can copy basically object name from here, room, okay, and go here and go to object manager, create a new custom object, okay, and put it in a room. First thing, it will be asking label. We talked about what is label and what is backend name means API name. Okay, so label is something that you'll be seeing in the front end. Okay, so we put a room here, and as soon as you'll be clicking outside, it will be taking automatically the object name here. That would be becoming later your what you say, like, API name. So in this underscore c will be appended. Okay, later. Give me 1 second, please. Sorry. So here you need to put label and it will be taking object name here automatically. Okay. You can change it also if you want, but usually what we do, we keep label and object name in sync. Okay. So, at least we have some similarity. We know what we are accessing. Okay. I'll show you what it becomes once the object is created. But usually we basically have it same, right? So later if you have space and in between space and you have two words here, then it is appended using underscore. Okay, so that will be seeing later once we are having any guest booking services. Here in service request we are having space, right? So the space will be replaced by underscore. Okay, that will be seen later. But in plural level you need to put the plural of that basically level that you are putting in. Like if it is room, then you need to put rooms. Okay, why it says Salesforce is asking you, because sometimes it will be showing you rooms and all, like rooms record and everything, so that's why it is asking you plural. Okay, here you need to put plural. Okay, now a description, if you want to put it, it is not going to show to be shown in the front end. It is just for explanation of object in the back end, that why you are creating this object and all. Okay, now here you get a record name. Okay, that we basically talked about earlier. We can have the name field in two ways. Okay, first would be text type. That would be the field name would be name already. Okay, always, and you can change it to auto number. Okay, once you change it to auto number, this will be accepting one format and a starting number. Okay, so first thing is that if I'm changing it to auto number, that means every record, once you'll be creating every record, means every row of the table that you'll be creating, okay, automatically a column, you can say this column will be populated by Salesforce with some standard, you can say, formatting that will be providing here. Okay, so first thing, if it is a number, we need to put number here. That's what basically we have here in you can say our document also. Okay, you see, first column that you need to create is of type auto number. Okay, so and once the API name is name, okay, you see API name is name. So API name you cannot create a field. That field will be created here in the first as a first column. Okay, so always remember this name is kind of the first column. Okay, that would be there always. Okay, so if in this table we are having that room number should be the field level, that's why we change the room number here, and we have API name, automatically the API name is name. Okay, so we cannot change it like that. So here API name will be name automatically, that's why I put here name. Okay, and it should be auto number, so we have changed from text to auto number. Okay, now the format can be anything, like they just put yourself like this, I think. Okay, room, and in curly braces you will be putting 000. So in curly braces, whatever you are putting from the right top, from the most right, it will be starting the number. Okay, as soon as it will be creating the records. Okay, we have seen it already. So as soon as we will be creating, we will be showing to you how you create the rows. Okay. Starting number one, you can put any number. From that number, it will be starting the count. Like, if you start 10, then it will be starting, the first record will be having 010, and then it will be going forward. Okay. Now, still here you have done this field. Okay, the configuration for this field. Okay, that you create, the name field you create once you are creating the object itself. Okay. Now, after that, we are having some options here. You see, so allow reports means if you can click those things here, or later you can do some configurations also. Okay. So actually, I don't want to click those here, so that later I can show you what those things are. But if you click on this, so you don't have to create report type. Automatically report type of this object will be created. Okay. Just telling you this, maybe you will not get it, but later once you are in report and dashboard, we'll be showing it to you. Okay. I'm not going to click it, but just basically letting you know what these options are. Okay. Allow activities, will be having related, you can say, activities automatically attached to it. That's why, just not putting that much you can say into it, because we have not explained all these things, right? Field history, all the changes in the you can say fields of uh, object will be automatically done, right? So those things we enable later. Okay, that's why we're not putting it. Okay. Chatter groups, we have here, you can say, chat application, right, inside Salesforce, that we call chatter. Here, there it will be enabled. Okay, so we are not clicking those. Once we'll be going to individual functionality, we will be enabling those. Okay. Now, these things, object classification, allow sharing means basically we share this object records. Okay, so if you are clicking on that, then sharing will be enabled for now. Okay, all settings you need to do somewhere else, that will be covering later. Okay. Bulk API access, record of this object will be accessed by bulk API. Okay, means its API means backend. Okay, so just know that, not from front end, from backend, data of this object means records of this object will be accessed by bulk. Okay. So and the streaming API also. So these are advanced term related to development, but still I'm telling you, these you can control here. It's kind of accessing data from backend. Okay, simple as that. So you are allowing for that. Okay, so it's up to you if you
So
allow. Yep, yep.
so here they mention it as object classification, right? So when the settings are enabled, the object is classified as a enterprise application object, and if it is disabled, it's light application object, right? So how it is getting deferred? So how can we identify the object is a light application object and enterprise application object? So
These settings, yeah, these settings what you see here. Okay, these settings allow backend access of your data. Okay. So
okay,
if you are only allowing this object to access data from front end, right,
okay,
means your data cannot be accessed by data loader. Your data cannot be accessed by backend API, right? Then it is light application means, in enterprise application object, it full-fledged object is there, means either if you want to access data from backend, if you want to access basically data outside Salesforce also. Okay, all those you can do. But if you are not allowing all these, data will be here only in, you can say, Salesforce. Okay, and that would be accessed by front end only. Okay, that's what these options are for. Correct. So that's
okay,
what difference you see here. Okay, enterprise enterprise application object means full-fledged functionality functionalities are enabled for backend data access also. Correct. So
okay,
that what they are naming is, we don't use these, you can say, terminologies very much, light application object or enterprise application object, but these we use a lot. Okay. So once we'll be doing bulk data upload, at that time, okay, we can use bulk API also. So we'll be covering data loader. Data loader is a tool, right? That tool will be using here. We'll be teaching you that also. At that time, we'll be basically using bulk API. Okay. For will be, once will be in development, obviously we'll be using other APIs also, but closest you can say you can get to bulk API, that is data loader in admin part. Okay.
okay.
So
And one
there,
more
if
thing.
you are allowing it, you'll be getting error that a data loader cannot access records of this object. Okay.
Object. So only if we enable any one of the options, only the data loader can be used, right?
No,
Or
that is anyone, not any one of those. This option, second option is for bulk API. Okay, that's why I'm
okay,
not emphasizing it because you don't know bulk API. What is bulk API? You don't know streaming API. Okay, sharing will be covering later. So only you need to just understand these points are here. Okay, and you can control the object level. You can say access from backend using this option. It it
okay.
does not matter for you what is bulk API or streaming API because these are big topics itself. Okay.
Okay.
So
One more
only,
thing. Okay.
sorry.
So one more thing. So in the
Mm,
real-time application, right? If any project and company,
mm.
is there any requirement? Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
these should be enabled. Okay, these should be
okay.
enabled. These
So
are optional. Later you can say once object is created. Okay, if you don't enable those, later your company or your client will be telling you to basically do that. We'll be doing one on one these options one on one. Okay, so these we do later. So these are usually not you can say enabled here. That's why these are by default unchecked and these are by default checked. Correct.
check. Okay.
Uh, so these all we'll be doing, but we'll be doing one by one as soon as we'll be reaching to the topic. Okay, reports also, activities also, field history also. Okay,
Okay. Here.
here options you need to know only that these are for your backend data access means if any other tool because Salesforce gets integrated also, right? So
Yes.
that's the TRP of Salesforce also, right? So from backend, if you access the data, you need to allow this and streaming. This is also kind of backend data, okay, but in a different way. Okay, so then you need to enable this also and sharing with obviously. If you'll be having sharing, then only you can basically share these records within the environment and without outside the organization also. Correct. So that's how these three options are enabled. Got it?
Enable. Okay.
Yeah. Now, here we have in development deployed. So once you are in development, okay, then you cannot use this object further. Okay, for further, you can say utility, you will be
Hello,
creating tasks and everything. If it is deployed, that then we can use this object further. You get for
hello,
further utilization. Yep.
Abhishek. Hi, Abhishek. Sorry for the interruption. So, what
No.
I understand above three, allow sharing is nothing but when we are sharing the record to the someone, we can provide the access, right? Read, write, like
Mm.
that. That is used for the sharing option, right? Bulk API is nothing but when we are accessing the data in the data loader, when we are allowing these checkbox, that data loader allow the data, right?
Not data loader anywhere that is using bulk API. Data loader is one example I'm giving you. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So bulk API can be utilized anywhere. Okay. So API is totally a big topic here. Okay. So I'm
Mm.
just telling that if you want to observe where we are using bulk API, data loader is the tool where you can get the bulk API utilized by point and click. Otherwise, you need to code for it. Okay. A
Oh,
lot of code.
thank,
So
thank you.
that's all. Okay. Now, so here we'll be choosing deployed because we'll be using this object further to create tabs and everything. Okay. Now, search
So
status.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Abhishek. So
Yeah.
here, right, the two options are there in development and deployed. So how is it getting default? So suppose if I make if at the development environment, right? If I'm
Mm.
making some changes, will it
It will
be
always
yeah,
be default because once you are creating the object, right? At that time, it will be in development. Okay. But
okay,
once you are done creating the object and later you are modifying it, okay, then it will always be deployed. Got it?
okay,
Not be changing these options. Always it will be deployed. Once you have your sandbox, which we call development environment, right? There also it will be deployed every time. You will be changing it, and then whatever changes you have done, you will be basically deploying your changes from your testing environment or development environment to production. Okay, but it
okay,
will always be deployed at both of the instances, production also and sandbox also. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Any other question, guys?
No,
Okay. Okay. So search status means see, when the setting is enabled, your user can find records of these objects type when they search. And search where? they have not mentioned it, but you see this global search, correct? So there they are asking if you will be allowing search here, then records of this object can be searched in the global search. So this you see, this is global search. This is also you can say global search anywhere. Okay. So we have search option here. This is called global search. So that's what this is asking. If you'll be allowing here only, then if you'll be searching here, your records can be searched in this global search. Okay. So simple as that. We'll be using this global search a lot, but only if we allow the search here, then only records of this object will be found here once you'll be searching. Okay, simple as that. Now, here in the last section, you get add nodes and attachments related list to default page layout. So every object here in Salesforce has nodes and attachments, and uh, show you another application like sales. And if you open any of the object here, okay, any of the record, and in related you see you get nodes and attachments, correct? So once you get nodes and attachment, then it is asking right now if you want to attach those, or later we can control it also. Okay, so it's optional. Either we attach it right now, or later we'll be attaching it using, you can say, other, you can say, controls that we get in object manager. So uh, usually if it's optional for you, I'm not going to do it. I will show you how we will be doing it in, you can say, other entities page layout. There will be controlling it. Okay, usually once the object is created, okay, then you do this control from there. Will once I'll be showing you, that's why I'm not clicking it here. Okay, if you want you can click it here. Notes and attachments like this will be added in the related. Okay, and what is related and all that will be discussing later, but that's the option to control it here. Okay, so once you will be knowing what this means, what it actually does, it's optional for you. You can do it later if you want. Okay, now, launch new custom tab wizard after saving this custom object. Yes, obviously we need to create a tab, but yet I'm not clicking on it because I'll create fields and everything. Then I'll navigate you usually from where we create the tab. Okay, we have seen already, but we'll be doing from there, not from here. Okay, so if you want to do it from here, that's also possible. But basically, I will be going there in the tab section, and from there I'll be creating. Okay, so both options you can check from here also, and later we can do those also. Okay, so now I will be you see these are options. These are options that you get once you are creating. Okay, available only when custom object is first created. Okay, so at the time of creation only you are getting. Okay, later we can do all these settings later also. We'll be doing obviously later. Okay, I want to show you how these are done once the object is already created. Okay, now let's save it and create our object. We have, okay. Do we have? Let's see. Did I create this? So if you are having duplicate name, okay. Oh, when I created. Okay, so this object we created earlier also. So don't worry, same thing I have created here also. Okay, and same thing we have here also. If you in details you see, so we have same thing. Okay, so now you see that also it's good that we got this error. So this object name is already in use. So always this will be unique. Okay, object name is this API name will be unique, and once you create it, that's how it will be looking. So if you'll be going into details, now I have opened this you can say room object here. Okay, this would be the API name, backend name, developer name, anything you can say. Okay, now whatever you put there, okay, here, okay, in this object name, that would be appended by underscore underscore c. Okay, so that's the identification. Every time you'll be using this whole name, API name. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, So this is the backend, and that's how it will be looking. And other options we will be discussing those later. Similar options I have selected earlier also, maybe not allow search. We'll be checking that also, not issue. If you edit here, you see any created object, you get these options again. Okay, so here you can check all those if you want later also. Okay, and I have checked allow search also. So easy, similar options are there, no difference. Okay, so that's how basically you create an object. Okay, now I'll be closing it down because I already have that object created. Okay, so similarly you can create any object just like you want, and as soon as you'll be creating an object, you'll be having these fields automatically created that we already have discussed. This is index field that we have created for this. Okay, and from at the time of object creation only, this name field you need to create. It can be the text type or it can be auto number type. When it is text type, it says data type as name already. Okay, so these are the observation of this field, particular field. Okay, and other three fields created by last modified by, these are you can say there to track, you can say who created the record, who modified the record, and who is the owner of the record. Okay, these three fields are utilized a lot. Okay, so once you create a new object, four fields will be having created automatically, and in all of those, one of that will be name field. Okay, it can be auto number or it can be text. Clear? You have any question, guys? Anyone? Okay. Okay, now we have some more fields here to be created there. Okay, so for that we need to discuss about data type. So first we'll be,
Abhishek,
yeah.
Abhishek, sorry for the interruption. I'm a little bit late, so that's why I didn't understand maybe. So here you mentioned a room number to take as a number label, but field name is a name. Data type is auto number. I didn't understand little bit actually,
Okay, so once we create a
but
new
I'll see
object,
later. But I'll see later.
yeah, yeah.
You are recording that. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
sir. Thank
It is explained there. Okay,
you.
if you don't get it, you just note it down your question and ask us. Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Uh, so now time to learn a bit about data type here in Salesforce. That's very much important. Okay, starting from admin to development. Okay, everywhere you'll be using the data type a lot. Okay, Salesforce specific data type, you need to learn about it. I already have given you basic, you can say, assignment last time, but I believe you guys might have gone through it. But yes, you see here, these are data type that you need to create there. Okay, so if you double click on this, you'll be having this, you can say, open in Excel. Okay, now room type I'm going to create. Okay, and if I create new here, okay, let me show you these options first. So this is new means if you are here in field relationship section, okay, you have a lot of sections here, right? So we'll be covering each and every section here. Okay, what we do from here, because around you say 70% or more than, around 70% of tasks you can control from here. Okay, okay, I mean you can control from other sections also, from other sections also, but from here you can control 70% of tasks in the Salesforce. Okay, so you see a lot of options are there. Okay, even automations you can control from here. Okay, apex triggers. Okay, object access level, everything you have here in at object level. Okay, so we'll be explaining all these options. Okay. Meanwhile, you guys will be creating these. You can say uh, here these objects and fields. Okay. So that would be your assignment. Now let's go there. So these options. So here you'll be having new field created by this button. Deleted fields. If you delete any field, it kind of resides in recycle bin, special recycle bin. Okay, we have different recycle bin for records, different recycle bin for fields. So deleted fields you can see here. Okay, field dependencies we'll talk about later. First, you need to understand what is dependency. Then we'll be able to uh, show field dependency. Means once one field is depending on another field, that's what it is showing. Set history tracking. Now this is the option that I was talking at that time. Okay, either you can enable there or you can enable from here also. Once we creating fields, we'll be enabling some history tracking. Means what changes were done in the field. Okay, and with what timeline and everything that will be tracked here, okay, in a big object. What is big object? That also we are going to cover later. Big object is kind of you can say object that stores a lot of data, okay. So history object is there. Once you create any object, some you can say system objects are created with that object, like sharing object, like history object, okay. So these objects are created by default, okay. You cannot control it, but yes, once you are enabling some functionality, those objects are created, okay. So these objects will be get. I'll show you those might be part of your development sessions, but yeah, you will be seeing those records. So you might ask from where we are getting it. So at that time, I'll explain it to you. Okay. Now we need to explore these options where we're creating new field. Okay. Here you get data type here. Okay. So if we talk about data type, we have already seen this auto number, right? So you can have auto number there once you are creating object, and you can have auto number created here also. Okay. If you want to create any auto number field, you can create it also. Similarly, it will be asking you those things. Like if you go next here, so see start display format, starting number, same way it is asking, just like it was asking earlier also. Okay, that's how you can create auto number here. We already have created, so that you guys can create and delete later if you want. Okay, and it's just optional. Formula, it is predefined, you can say formula based, basically field that will not be editable in the UI. Okay, and this will be doing once I'll be showing you how to create a formula. Okay, that will be discussing later. Lookup will be discussing later. Marshall will be discussing later. External lookup will be discussing later. Checkbox. Checkbox here you see. I'm just assuming you guys have gone through it. Okay, you need to leave these options: formula, lookup, master, external. That will be discussing later. Okay. Now here you have checkbox. So a checkbox, right? Once you tick any, you can say checkbox, that would be true or false. Okay, that's the data type is called checkbox. Okay, true, false. Okay, those two values it will be having. Currency, you already know what currency is. Okay, once this will be kind of you can say pick list, but yes, here you'll be putting currency that either is INR, US dollar, or all other currencies. Okay, so we have here currency management also, but this field you can add here uh, in your object. Okay, then you have date, pretty simple. Okay, and you have date time. It will be having date and time as well. Okay, so this data type, it will be in data time. So a specific field will be holding only that kind of data. Once you'll be putting the data type here. Okay, so that's how this data type will be holding only that kind of data in it. Okay, email, it will be accepting email only. Okay, geolocation, this will be accepting coordinates. Okay, lat long basically. Okay, see, latitude and longitude. So if you want to include, you can include those. So maybe I'm not going to create all of the fields, okay, but you try to create what I'm explaining right now. These fields are, you can say, kind of tricky fields that I will be showing you in you can say maybe repetition or maybe in elongated you can say way. Okay, but all others you can try whatever I'm explaining here, try create it, and later if you don't want it, you just delete it. Okay, simple as that. Then you have number, don't have to explain it, I guess. Okay, then you have percent. Percent is like it's kind of number, but it will be calculating the percentage. Okay, means how many percent are there, just like out of 100%, how many percent you are having. Okay, phone, it will be storing phone. It pick list, it is the pick list value, means restricted pick list. I'll show you how it looks like. Basically that's what we need to create here also. If you see room type, we need to create pick list type. Okay, so pick list we are going to create, so all users to select a value from a list you defined. Okay, so you'll be having a list of values defined here in this field. Okay, and then in the UI, user will be able to select any of that, right? So if you go here, you might be having some pick list. I'm not sure. Okay, here you see type, this is pick list, so where you select something, correct? This is pick list. Now pick list multi select, so here it is also pick list, but here you can select more than one value. So here you see you can select any one of the value, right? But in multi-select you will be having multiple values selected. Okay. So that also you can try. I'm not sure that is included in the hotel management system or not, but you can try it. Okay. Same way it will be accepting values here, but you can select multiple values. Okay. Then you have text here, simple as that. Okay. Text will be input here. Okay. Then you have text area. In this, basically the character limit is basically 255. Okay. And you can have separate lines here also, means you can have your text in separate lines. In text it is not allowed. Okay, you cannot have separate lines here. Okay, in text area long here you will be having you can say these many character limits. Okay, maximum, although you can have less than that, but this will be maximum. Okay, and you can have separate lines also. So here character limit is the different. So text area long will be having these many characters maximum. Okay, text area reach, it will be having character limit same as text area long, but it will be having formatted text also, like you can have bold, or you can add images, you can have links and everything. So it will be having those things you can put here in this text area reach. Okay, this is the difference between text area long, and text area reach. Okay, text encrypted, rarely will be using it, but here you see allow users to enter any combination of letters and numbers and store them in an encrypted form. So once it is stored, it stores encrypted form of that. So it does one encryption and stores it. Okay, rarely we use it. If a very special purpose is there, then we use it. Okay, we have time. Okay, simple as that, we store time. Okay, like this. Okay, you will be having format defined there, and url, any url for any purpose, like if you need to store some url, www.google.com or any other url, then you can store into the url. Okay, so these are the data types. Those are simple data types. Okay, and those you'll be using here and there every time. But these data types that I'll be showing you in, you can say, extended basically session of this data type. Okay, so once we get to create these, I'll be explaining you that I have included everything. So relationship is something that will be explaining in very deep. Okay, and formula also, formula you'll be getting a lot of formulas also. Okay, so any question on this one, guys? Data type?
No, not no.
Okay, so here it is step one. Here we need to choose the field type. Okay, means the data type of the field, and we are choosing pick list here because we need to create pick list here. That's what I have mentioned in the document. This same kind of document you will be getting once someone will be asking you to create some fields. Okay, just like this, they will mention data type, they will be mentioning field level. Maybe they will not be explaining the API name. Okay, but it's up to you what you do with the API name. I told you already, right? So they will be bothering about field level, what will be showing in the front end. Okay, and the data type, what type of data it will be storing. Once they are having pick list, they will be mentioning some values also. Okay, so these values I told you, pick list is a list of values that user can select in the front end. So you must be having some values there also. So these values are there, those will be putting in the pick list. Okay, so where it will be asking in the next page. So we have selected that, yes, this field we want as pick list. Now go next, and here you'll be having the detail of the field put here. The first thing is that we need to put the name is label here. Okay, as soon as you'll be clicking outside, you'll be having this field name populated by itself. You see now underscore is there automatically instead of space. So in field name you cannot have spaces. Okay, now underscore c will be appended automatically later. Now here you get two things while you are selecting the values. Okay, first thing, use global pick list values set. Okay, that we will be explaining later what is global value set means. uh, Once you are having a set of list of these values. Okay, that you can utilize in more than one field. Okay, throughout the org, then you can create that as a global pick list. Okay, but if you are having that you can say those values as you can say local list here, So that will be utilized by this field only. Okay. So consider you have country, right? Obviously we have country as a standard here, but consider you have a country pick list, like there you mentioned all of the countries. So in this object also you are having country, and in other objects you are also having a country. In lot of objects you are having country also. So at that time what you can do, you can create a global pick list. Okay. And then you can use that global pick list here. So once you'll be having any global pick list, you'll be getting it to selected here. Okay. So I'll be creating one global pick list also later and show you. Okay. But for now, here we'll be putting those values as local. Okay. And once you are putting values here, there's a special format that you need to follow. Every field should be in new line. Okay. And there should be no extra characters. Okay. Like this. So every field, sorry, not field, I said field, sorry for that. Okay. Every value should be in new line. Okay. And that's how all the values you need to put here, those should be shown there as a quick value. So like all these values you see, those should be in new line here. Okay. Intervalues with each value separated by a new line. Okay. Simple as that. Now here you get some options, very clear options, not much complex. Display values alphabetically. If you look, clicking it, okay. So this order that you are putting basically these values in, okay, that will be changed and alphabetically arranged. Those values will be arranged alphabetically. Means if it is A, that will be coming first, B later. Okay. Use first value as default value. So once we get here, okay, if the record is loaded, okay, you see there is no default value. If you create a new record, there is no default value selected. Okay. So if you choose this option, okay, then first value will be default value automatically. So means even if you don't select this field while creating the record, automatically this record will be selected. So we are not bothered about it. We are not using a default value. Okay. Now, this is the option that is important. Restrict quick list to the values defined in the value set. First thing, this is the value set, right? Means list of values, those you want to be selected there. Okay. Now, it is asking that if you want to restrict user to select only these values, or you want other values to be accepted also. Means if from somewhere user is putting some other value, obviously mostly from backend, okay, then either this field should be accepting or it will be throwing an error saying that only these values you PTs will be accepting. Okay. So that's what we are doing here. We are restricting it. Means you see, if you hover here, okay, in the help section, this is kind of, you can say, help icon. Okay, you get enforce data integrity with restricted pick list. This setting limit the field to accept only values from your pick list, even if the field is updated through the API. Now you see, that's why I told you that mostly it will be happening through backend. Okay, and backend means API. So that's what this field is controlling. Okay. So usually you do, once you are creating a pick list, obviously you want those values to be selected only, right? So restrict it. In some cases we disable it also. Okay. So that is a special case, will be telling you later, but yes, here that's what we do. We need to
I
restrict it. Yeah.
Abhishek,
Yeah.
Abhishek, I have. So what it means when we are creating the any record, I mean when you are inserting the record into the object, by the time if you enter any different value compared to this any different value, it will accept, right? You are saying?
From the UI you cannot do it, but since you can create records from backend also, right?
Yeah, yeah, through coding.
Through code or through API. Okay. At that
Hmm.
time, you can put some value that is not defined here. Okay. If you are not
Okay,
checking this, if you are checking this, then it will not accept any value other than these three. Okay. Even
okay.
from backend
Thank
also. Okay.
you. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So description here, description is for developers only. So if you want to explain something here, I am putting description for this field. Later, I'm not going to put for any others. Okay. And it's up to you if you guys are putting or not. Okay. So here, like stores type of row. It's okay. So just putting description so that if some other developers are coming here, they will be able to know, okay, that's why for this field is created. Okay. Now help text. So help text is something that is for front end. That is shown in the front end. If you come here, I am not sure if I have any. Okay, I don't have any, but you get kind of this kind of, not exactly this kind of, but this kind of, you can say, help icon there. Okay, that you can on hover, you can see the information that you'll be putting here. Okay, so like, this is text sample help text. Okay, I'm just putting here so that you can see there in the UI. Okay. Now let's move to next. You can say what you say option here. This is required. Okay. So if you click on this, then you'll be getting red asterisk there. Okay. So that means without filling this field, you cannot enter records. Okay. Means room type. So if you click on this, the field will be mandatory. Okay, so this word you'll be facing a lot, that's called mandatory. Okay, so if you are checking this, you can make it mandatory. So every time if the record is entered in this table or this object, okay, slowly stop using table, guys. As soon as I'll be fading it out, you need to fading out also. Okay, so as soon as you putting a record of room object, okay, at that time it's necessary to fill this field. Either way, if you're not filling it, you will not be able to create a record. Okay, so now consider a real case scenario. Okay, let me see. Okay, I have not put anything. Consider the real case scenario. If you are creating records of your hotel rooms, okay, so like room 101, room 102, 103. Okay, so now you you will need, like, I need to define a room type also. Based on room type, maybe later I'll be deciding the price also, right? Per night price, or kind of things. So it should be mandatory for you, right? So kind of you think, okay, if this room type is not defined, how will I tell, you can say, my guest later, okay, this type of room you are booking, either it is suite, or either you can say it is double or single, right? So how I will be basically defining, or will be telling my guest that this type of room is available in this price range. So obviously, yes, for every room record, I want room type to be defined. So now room type should be mandatory. That's what I have done here. Required. Okay. Now, so there are a lot of ways to make the field mandatory. This is one of those. Okay. Moving further, I will be telling you other ways also as soon as will you reaching in those entities. Okay. So this is one of the way to make the field mandatory. Required, check the required field. Okay. Add, auto add the custom report type. We're not bothered about it. Let it add. Okay. So this is part of report and dashboard. I'll tell you how you can control it. Okay. So we have other tools also. From there you can control it. So we're not bothered about it. It is checked. Let it check. Okay. Here you get default value. Okay, so this is kind of formula editor. If you put something here, okay, as default value, once any record is created, it will be taking that particular default value. So here we get, in picklist especially, we get two options to set the default value from here also, and this you'll be getting in every field. Most of the fields, not in auto number. Some you can say field, those are not editable, like in formula auto number, but in most of the fields you'll be getting this default value formula editor. Since you don't know the formula editor, I'm not going to show it to you. Okay, but obviously the thing is, like, if it is a text field and I put it like here, you can say sample text like this. Okay, so every time once the record is created and I'm not putting any value on that field, it will be taking this sample text. Once it is not picked list, it is text. Okay, so maybe we'll be utilizing it later. Okay, that's it. These are the, you can say, things you need to put here in the second step. Okay, now you need to go forward in the next. And here, since you made this field mandatory, now you see this is available for all of the profiles. Now here, what step 3 will be doing, here you will be having established field level security. Okay, now since you are creating a field, you need to go through all these steps, and all these, you can say, are separate topics here also, like field level security. Okay, but yes, so field level security, you can control the visibility of the field, right? Either it is visible or not, correct? So that field level security you can control here, basic security, and then later other securities you can check and control there in the profile level. Correct? So here you see all the profiles that you have in your system. Okay, profiles. So all the systems, and what is our profile? System administrator. Okay, that we already have discussed. Now you see you cannot change it here. Okay, but if you go previous and if you uncheck it required, okay, and then you go next, you see you have option to select and deselect. Correct? See, so why is that? Because first thing, here you control the visibility, means if I'm not checking visibility in front of, you can say this is standard user, so whoever, if I'm not checking it, right, and if I'm checking for all others, right, like this is one time I'm going to explain, guys. Later you every time you'll be getting this screen, right, so you need to figure out what to do. Okay, so if I'm doing like this, so this field, if in a user is going to the record, okay, and they have access to see the record, they will be seeing the record, but that particular field room type will not be visible to them. Okay, because we have not given the permissions. So that's how you control the permission of any particular field. That's called field level security. Okay, so we have object level security also, and then we have field level security also. Okay, so there you will be having control to show the field or not. Okay, so this field will be hidden to this profile holder. Okay, whoever is using this profile. Okay, now if I go back and if I make it mandatory, that's what we need to do. Okay, required, and then if I go back, now it is by default visible to everyone. Why is that? Because Salesforce knows, Salesforce is smart enough. Okay, they have made this provision, because if that field is mandatory and user cannot see it, then obviously they cannot enter the record, right? Once they'll be going there and they'll be entering a record there and they'll be having a field mandatory, right? But since they have not access to see the field, they will not be able to fill the field. And if they are not able to fill the field, they will never be able to create the record. Okay, that's why once you make any field mandatory, it is by default visible to all of the profiles. Okay, obviously, it will basically take input based on your other profile, other permissions and everything, but at least it will be visible to all of the profile. Okay, so here you control the visibility of the field here. Okay, and then you go to next. Any question on that previous page, guys? Anyone? Okay.
No option.
Okay. Now in the step 4, you see this add to page layout. Page layout is also, you can say, a separate section here. Okay, we'll be visiting that, but here you get to add the field into page layout. Okay, so that's part of, you can say, field creation and every management of it. Okay, if you are trying to add it to the page layout, what is page layout, that we have not discussed yet, right? So for now, here you can add and remove from page layout. Okay, but since it is mandatory field, you cannot remove from page layout. Same thing will be happening. That's what I told you, right? So whatever you mentioned in the page layout, for now, that a rough idea I'm giving to you, and then after that I'll explain you the page layout. Okay, so here whatever you are seeing, that you are seeing that from page layout. So whatever is put there in the page layout, even if you create a field and you don't put in the page layout, you will not be able to see it. Okay, so I'll show you that part, don't worry. So I will just think that, you cannot remove it from page layout, because see, it is disabled, I cannot click it. Okay, so since it is mandatory field, you need to put in the page layout, otherwise users cannot fill that field and record will never be entered. Okay, that's right. Now you have save and new. So once you'll be doing save and new, this field will be saved and a new field from step 1 will be created. Okay, so then you need to move forward on that. So right now we are going to use save for now, and you see this field. So that's how this field is created. API name, data type. Okay, and if you open this field here like this, you see the details, and here you get all the details. Okay, description, help text, and everything. Okay, that we have entered required. Okay, default value don't have none. Okay, and pick list options, restrict pick list that we have selected, and dependencies, everything we'll be talking about later. Value source will be talking about later. Okay, and here you see values. these are the values that we have entered. Okay, so here you maintain the values. Later, if you want to add some values or remove some values, you can come here. Okay, like if I say, okay, I will be adding a more, you can say, like, villa. Okay, I need to add villa also. Then I guess this is the meaning, spelling. I'm not sure. Okay, so if you need to add villa here, you just come here. You see, you get new, and here same way you need to add villa and save it. And here you get villa added, correct, at the last. Reorder, if you want to do reorder, then you have this, like, order you can change up, down, and everything. Okay, simple as that. That's what we do here. Okay, using reorder. And what are the, okay, printable view, if you want to see printable like this, it will be showing like this, simple as that. Replace, if you want to replace any, you can say, pick list value with other value. Okay, then you can do it. Okay, but this will be replacing your record. Those are having values also, but don't bother about it for now. We'll talk about later once we'll be having some records at least. Okay, then chart colors and everything. Okay, that chart we are not using for now. We'll be using reports and dashboard. That will be doing later. Okay, here we can deactivate values and we can delete values also. Once you delete any pick list values, that will be deleted all the way, right? But once you deactivate any of the values,
Hello,
okay, yep,
hello, Abhishek. I have
yep.
one doubt.
Mhm.
So I have created one record with the single pick list. I mean value of the single. So when I change the replace to single to any other value, how it will take?
That's why I told you, let's have the records first. Okay, then you'll be
Hmm.
getting that one, right? So in the
Okay.
replace, what happens, like, if you are replacing any value to another value, either new value or existing value, then all the record values will be replaced by that new value that you're putting. Okay, so that's what the replace means. But at least we should be having record first. Okay, then we can see that, right? Now, what options we can select here? The only those we are discussing. We'll be discussing this replace later also. Okay. So see, I have deactivated my value, correct? So if I deactivated it, now it is coming here inactive values. Now users will not be able to see that value in the UI. So obviously we need to get to the UI for that. Okay. So let's create the UI first, because without UI we'll not be verifying those. So I have activated again, and this value has come up in the values, activated values, correct? Now let's discuss one more thing about this, and then we'll create the front end. Okay, even if you create a field here, okay, and that field is not exposed to the UI, means users still cannot see that field, and from where users will be able to see page layout. Okay, so once you create any object, a default page layout is created automatically. Okay, and that is assigned to users. If you open it, you get here a lot of, you can say, things here. So we'll be discussing page layout in very deep, but only thing is that you see a lot of sections here: fields, buttons, quick actions, mobile actions, everything. Okay, so that we'll be discussing all of those. But basically these, you can say, page layouts are here. You see, if you open this, okay, these are the layout it is talking about. Okay, so here whatever you are seeing, those are coming from here. Okay, so we'll see that. Okay, so right now if you see, scroll down, okay, these are highlight panels and everything. We'll be discussing those. But if you come here, you see room detail. Here you see you have room number automatically here. Okay, because that we created as part of, you can say, object creation. Okay, then I have owner, those field, that field already created. Okay, and then I have room type here. Okay, now you see you don't get option to remove this field. So if you basically, if you click on this, okay, then this field will be removed. Okay, or you can drag and drop it like this. Okay, so we'll be discussing it first. Only I'm showing you that room type is here. Okay, and that's how our page layout is looking like. Okay, so we'll be discussing in detail this page layout, but right now let's save it. Okay, save, or don't save it, it's already saved. Okay, now time to create the front end. Okay, so we are done with the one field creation, and we are done basically seeing the page layout. In page layout, the field is already there because it is mandatory. That's why it is there, and we have selected the fourth step that should be there in the page layout. That's why it is added. If you have multiple page layouts, those multiple page layouts will be shown there in the fields also. We'll show you that also. Okay, don't worry. So now this room object is created. Now we need this room objects front end. Still from the front end we cannot access room yet. Okay, because we don't have any tab. Unless we have any tab, we cannot add that tab in the application. Okay. Okay. So for that, what we need to do at the time of object creation, we could have created the tab, but right now we'll be learning how to create the tab once you create any object, a tab out of object. Okay. Now you need to click on home. Okay. And here you need to type in the setup tab. Okay. And here you see inside this, you can see user interface, you get tabs option. Open it. And here you see custom objects tab. That's what we are looking for. Okay, you see custom objects tab. Okay, so you need to put here new, and then here you need to select the object. Which object we are having? It's room. Okay, select it from the list, room, and then you need to choose the tab style, coloring and everything, that you can choose any of those. Okay, and then these are optional settings. We don't usually use it. Choose a home page custom link to show as a splash page in the first time user click on this tab. Okay, I've never used it, I don't know, but yeah, they are just basically it's kind of UI splashing or something. I don't use it, I don't know, it's optional. Okay, description basically uh, this is also related to classic, I guess, that's why this is here. Okay, and description you can put for any, you can say dev related description, why you are creating it, what is the purpose and everything. Okay, so that you can put, it is not related to front end. Okay, go next, and here it will be asking you in the step 2 visibility of this tab. Okay, add to the profiles. So for everything in Salesforce you get control to uh, expose to a specific profile or something like that. Okay, so here you see you get all the profiles. Okay, now option apply one tab visibility to all the profiles means default on is selected, so all the profiles are having default on. Correct. Now if you choose default off, all the profiles will be having default off. Okay, and then if you are choosing tab hidden, so the tab will be hidden for all of the profile. Okay, so these options will be applied to all. And if you choose basically this other option, now you see this is highlighted. Okay, now you can change these values. Okay, for each of the profile. That's how you select here profile. Okay, so now for system admins we are doing default on, means they can see the tab. Okay, and later we'll be creating one more profile to whom we'll be giving the access. Right now we are giving access to the system admins only. Other, if you'll be having other users here, they will not be able to see this tab. That's how you control the tab visibility. Later you can edit this tab visibility in the profile directly also. Okay, and you have permission sets and other things also, but yes, from the profile also you can control it later. Okay, but for now I have made this tab hidden for all other profiles other than admin. Okay, and so we will be able to see this tab. Okay, now if you go forward, it is a step 3. It is asking you if you want to add this tab to any custom application. Okay, so what are other applications? These many applications we are having in all right now, and it is asking that if you want to add this tab what you are creating to all of the applications. Okay, that obviously we don't want, because I'm creating this tab specifically for hotel management system. Okay, so I don't want to add this tab in all other applications. Basically that's what it is asking. So you can control it from here also, or we have control here also. So once I create a tab, I will be getting that here. Okay, to select, and I can select from here also. You see hotel management system. As soon as I will be selecting here, that tab will be automatically added there. Okay, so we have both the options. Either you can do it from here or you can do it from here also. Once you create the tab, then you can do it from here also. So this is simple. You can check it and it will be added. Okay, let's go there in our hotel management system and add it. Okay, and you see append tab to users existing personal customization. We talked about it, right? What is personal customization? You see this pencil icon. So from here users can uh, customize this tab visibility on their own. Okay, so here they can add more items and everything. Okay, so that will be personal, means I'm not changing the application configuration here. Okay, but for me every time those tabs will be opened. Okay, so if I select this option here, okay, if I'll be selecting this option, that means uh, even user has its personal customization in the tabs. Okay, here this tab will be added there also. That's what it is asking. If you'll be unchecking it, so if you then whichever user is using personal customization, they have to go here. Okay, and then they need to add that tab from here. So these are the tabs you are seeing here. Then they have to add tabs from here also. Okay, so just that's why we include this tab in the app itself. Okay, so that it is added for all of the users. Okay.
I have checked. See, if we not check the append tab to use like this, so we I mean we won't get that pencil icon, right?
No, 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 no. That's not it. Pencil icon is there that we control in the application creation. You attended that class?
No,
That's why.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
So
sorry.
here, this button is sorry, controlled from here. Okay. App options, app details and options somewhere. Here you see app personalization settings, right? Disable end user personalization for nav items in the app. So if I disable it, okay, then here users will not see this pencil icon. Means they cannot select their own tabs here. Okay, so
Mm.
from here you can control it, not from there. So this is telling you that if personalization is enabled and user consider I am creating a tab and this application is already running, right? I have two tabs here, right? And consider I have added some more tabs from here, correct? This is
Mhm.
personal for me. If you are logging into same application, you will not see those, right? These you can say those I'm adding, these will be shown to me only, correct? So
Yes, 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 yes.
that's what it is asking. If you want to append this to that list of personal customization that user already is having, that's what it is asking. Simple check. Okay, you
Okay,
it's
thank you.
not much you can say
Understood.
complex here. It's just simple as that. Tab you want was there in the personal list or not? Simple as that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Then you save it. Okay. Now you can check it here. You have rooms tabs here also, right? Now I need to go here and navigation items. I'm not sure if it is there. I'll refresh it. Then you need to check room. Okay, and now you get this room tab here. Okay, select it, save it. Now if you go to your application, try to refresh, and now you get the room tab here. Correct. Now this is your object tab. So what we have done till now, we have created object, we have created field, okay, and then we have created a tab out of it, okay, and then we basically added that tab to the application. Okay. Now if you create new here, you'll be having a new record created. Now you see one field you are seeing here, and that is room type. You see these are the options. Correct. Now room number only you can see like this. Once you create a record, then only room number will be populated. Okay, so right now we have one value. If I select like this, or if I don't select anything and I try to save the record, we'll be seeing uh, complete this field, because this field is mandatory. Okay, you see red asterisk here, star here, and you see this help text. This is sample help text. Now you remember where I did put it, right? So from here, there it is coming simple help text. This is help text. You can say uh, icon or something, or whatever you say. Okay, this is icon. Okay. Now, if I select some value here and save it, okay, then record will be created. You see, okay. And now you have room number here populated automatically R001, because the first room should be created from 001. Okay, one from number one, and it is following the format. And room type here you have double. This is help desk, and these three fields are also there in the page layout. Now if you see your page layout, okay, then here you see this information section. This is similar like this. Okay, from this. So all these fields that you see here, those are coming from your page layout. Okay. If you remove any of the field from here, like, if I remove owner, okay, and save it, and if you go here, maybe you need to hard refresh. Let's see. Okay, now you see owner is gone, correct? So your page layout is controlling the visibility of your fields. Even if you have the fields, but if you have not added that particular field in the page layout, that field will not be shown here, correct? Now, same thing we'll be doing with other fields also. Let's add the owner because that is important field, okay? And how to add the field? Scroll down to the field section here, and in fields you are having these fields, drag, drop in, okay? And either you can do quick save or you can do save, both things, okay? Now you saved it, and if I refresh it again, this is hard refresh that I'm doing, guys, okay? So if you make any changes in the page layout and that is not visible immediately to you, then you need to hard refresh, means cache is there. You need to clear the cache. Don't go in the deep, just remember cache is there, okay? Then you need to basically clear it like that. You click on here and change it. Comfy compact is, you see, the view is comfy right now. It is having some space in between and all, right. If you do compact, then it will be asking you to refresh. So this is basically hard refresh. So we are just using this technique, okay? So refresh it, and now see it is compact view. Now see fields are a little bit near to each other, okay? And once you do that, cache is cleared. So once you clear the cache, a new fresh view is loaded, and whatever you have changed in the page here, that is visible here, okay? So if you're not doing that, maybe it will take some time to uh, make that change visible here in the screen, okay? Once you're doing in page layout, you need to remember that, okay? So this part is detail here, detail whatever you are seeing here. This part is controlled by page layout, okay? And then you have some related options here. But you see, you don't have anything related because I have not added it. I at the time of notes and attachment, I told you that I'm not going to add it, okay? Then we'll be adding it things here slowly, okay? But we need to understand all the things, then we'll be adding it. That's why I have not added it, okay? Some buttons you can see by default here because those buttons we are having by default here, okay? So don't worry about it. Some quick actions here are having by default here, we'll be overriding all those, okay? But let's create other fields also, and then we'll be exposing those fields to page layout, okay? Price per night is currency, you see. Now go to fields and relationship, and we need to create new field here, currency type, okay? And currency, okay? Price per night. Now length means till what number? If I put 2 here, then it will be accepting only, you can say, till 99, okay? If I want to put 99, maybe 100, it will not have because we are limited to 2, the field number, okay? So if we'll be doing it 3, then it will be accepting 100 and it will be accepting till 999, and it will not be accepting 1000, okay? Means digit cannot be 4. So that's what it is asking, length, okay? So I'm going to put here 10. That should be basically more than enough, I guess, okay? So digits, decimal places, how many decimal places you want, means dot how many decimal places you want, simple as that, okay? So I think everybody is aware of that, okay? So here we'll be putting 2, okay? Description help text, we are already aware of it. Required, yes, let's make it required because price without price, you cannot basically tell the customer that what basically this is how you can, what this room is basically costing you, okay? And then other options are fine. Default value you are getting, we are not putting in default value because this user needs to put, okay? So required again. So let me see. I don't price and status. Although we have all the mandatory fields here. Okay, don't worry. So as soon as it is mandatory, it will automatically be added to the page layout and the permissions, everything. That's why I wanted to show you some non-mandatory fields. But let's see. Now same things we are repeating. You see, and save and we have status. That's also pick list. You go here and you have pick list. Okay. Go next. This field here, and we'll be having values here like this. So this is the status algorithm. Either it is occupied, available, or it is under maintenance. Okay, that kind of things. Okay, and we'll be restricting it. Okay, and obviously it should be required because once you are having okay, let's not make it required. Later I'll make it required. Okay, so that you can see this time. Now this time I am just making this field visible to, you can say, system admin only. Okay, then move forward, and here you get options. I'm not adding from here, you can say, to the page layout. I'm not adding it, and I'm saving it. Okay, now if I go here and I try to refresh, now here you see we get some more fields here. Even you can say the record was created earlier also. Okay, so you see room type is here, room number is here, owner we have added, price per night we have added here also, right? But right now we don't see pencil again. If in some time it will be visible. Okay, price per night here also, and what we added more, status. But status will never be visible here because we have not added it to the page layout. Okay, so even if I try to refresh it here, okay, again. Okay, so here we don't get that failure status. Why? Because we don't have that in the page layout. So if you don't add that field in the page layout, means it is optional. You can have the field and not add to the page layout. That's also possible. It happens a lot of time. Okay, and you click on it, page layout, and here you see we don't have that field. That field is here. You see highlighted. Other fields are dulled out. Means those are already added here. So if you want to add this field, drag it down here and let's do this also. Owner, let's move owner here. Okay, that's how you can move in between sections. Okay, so that is page layout control. Okay, now here let's add this one. Then see here how they are looking, and let's create a full page record. Okay, yeah, now you see we have here, we can say, all the fields visible for now. Okay, so uh, means if you don't add any field in the page layout, that will not be visible to the users for now. Okay, so we are still not there in the record pages, so we are just controlling the visibility through page layout. Okay, in real time how it will be, okay, once you'll be enabling the page layout, you'll be having fields. Okay, and then you'll be having permissions to view the field. Okay, and sorry, and obviously it should be having before that, okay, like a field, and add it to the page layout. Okay, and then we have a section in between also, that's called record pages. Okay, then permission to view the field, then only user will be able to see the field. Okay, obviously they should be having the tab access and everything, that's by default, otherwise they will not be able to see the record, so field is far away. Okay, now here you see field should be there at least, then field should be added to the page layout, and record, you don't worry about it. Okay, record pages, so we'll be having, this is kind of lightning tool, means page layouts where they are from the classic to lightning. Now Salesforce is giving all the controls to the record pages. Okay, so this is a tool to control the visibility of fields and everything through the you can say lightning framework. Okay, and from there only you'll be controlling it. Okay, And then you should be having the permission to view the field. Then only you can view the field. Okay, so these many layers are there. Once you be clearing all those layers, then only field will be visible to the user. Okay, that's how the flow works. Any question on this one, guys? Record pages will be doing later, so don't worry about it. Any question? Okay. So now what we need to do, we need to make the field mandatory. Okay. And now here comes the second option to make the field mandatory. Now you see room type is mandatory, but and price per night is mandatory also, but status is not mandatory, right? But if I want this status to make mandatory also, either I can go there in the fields and relationship, okay, and I can go in the status and edit it, and I can make it required from here again. Okay, so now that much I can do, but there's other options also. If you go to page layout, okay, and you go there, okay, and you have the settings side in the status field, you have the settings, open it, and from here you can make it required or read only. Okay, that control you get in the field level. Okay, so if you make it read only, this field not be editable by the user. That will be looking like this, just like room number is there. Okay, so they will not be able to edit it. Okay, but not for me. Not for me because I am admin user. Okay, so admin users can edit non-editable fields also. For other users, that will be read only. Okay, so right now I am making it required. If you are making it required, okay, then that field will be required at the page layout. But catch is that this required will be at the UI level only. If you are entering record from backend, that field will not be validating it is required or not. Okay, that will be validating once you are making that field mandatory from the field level. Okay, then field will be mandatory. Now, if I save it, so from the UI, I will be having that field also mandatory. Okay, so if you go here and refresh it again. Let's create a new record. And here you see now we are having red restrict here also, okay, in the status also. So, but if I enter it from the backend, from the code or API, then it will not be mandatory, this field status only, okay. So this is the second way to make the field mandatory, okay. So that also we learned today, two ways to make a field mandatory, okay. Now if we want to enter some you can say record here, then I'll be like, suite and status is for now under maintenance maybe, okay, price per night maybe, okay, whatever we put, I don't know, okay, and here, and then we need to just enter it. Now we have R002 room, okay, and then we have status under maintenance, this is the price, okay, and then we have type of room is suite, okay. So, if you want to put other fields also, these are minimum fields. So whatever you will be finding in this document, guys, those will be minimum fields. If you want to add some more fields for your application, okay, for enhancement of your application, that's totally up to you, okay. Otherwise, these are the minimum field that you need for you can say operation of the application. Okay. Now, so you have till here this you can say field, okay, that you need to basically create like this. So you have created rooms here. Room is fine. Okay. Mandatory, non-mandatory, you can basically figure it out on your own for now. Okay. And later once we will be doing the application a lot further, we will be changing it meanwhile also. Okay. So till here, if anyone has any question, guys, okay. So records is not bothered about it. We can delete and create later. Okay, not for you. Okay. Any question till here, guys?
No option. For me, no.
Okay. Now here is your assignment. What you need to do. Okay. Here we have all the familiar data, right? You need to create this guest object also. Okay. Create that and expose it to the UI, create a tab and everything just like we did. Okay. And if you're not making mandatory, add to the page layout, and at least someone show me tomorrow. Let's see. Okay. Third, here we are having these lookup fields. Leave it and create all other fields. Okay, lookup will be creating uh, in the next session. Okay, there you will be having knowledge about what lookups are. Okay, so at that time we'll be discussing this lookup data type. I left it out from today's data type explanation, right? So in tomorrow's session we'll be covering this lookup because that's very much important. Okay, and that will be taking time also. So how lookup works, what is lookup, and what they these field type basically are having values in it. Okay, so create all three, leave lookup. Okay, I'll tell you all. Or just hold on bookings. I'll be creating that. Okay, and you can create services. This is also having three field. You can create this leave bookings, but create services here. Okay, and with these fields. Okay, then leave service request because it has lookups. As soon as I'll be telling you lookups, you can create all those objects here also. Service request, that's fine. And then final billing also you can leave because we have lookups. Hotel statistics, don't create this object. Okay, so because this in this session we'll be removing this. Okay, we had issues here, so this will not be creating for now. Let it be like that. Okay, so we'll be practicing this. You can say master detail in some other aspect, but will not be getting hotel statistics. It creates issues. Okay, now here what you need to do, you need to create what objects I told you. Okay, which is a recording again, or note it down. Okay, just create it, booking, leave it, and create services and leave it. Okay, so these two objects you create fields, you create tabs, and you add those tabs to basically your application. Okay, and that much I will be basically uh, already mine will already be done. Okay, so at that time once we'll be attending the session. Okay, mine will already be done, so you guys should be doing that also. Okay, and if we will be discussing about other data types that we have left out, that is lookup. Okay, so that lookup will be discussing, and not master detail for now, but yes, I will be giving you some information about master detail also, how to basically understand what is master detail and what is lookup, right? Based on this booking object. Okay, so that should be it, I guess, for today's session. This much you need to do, guys. Okay, slowly we'll be enhancing our sessions till 2 hours. Okay, but right now it is beginning, so this much you need to digest for now. Okay, and then as soon as we are done with data type, we will be doing other stuff also that is mentioned here. Okay, this document will be creating audio uh, now the platform is open, guys. If you have any questions related to anything, you can ask related to today's sessions or any previous sessions or anything. If you have any questions, you can ask related to document or anything. If you have any question, you can ask. Anyone?
Abhishek,
Yep.
this hotel management application will continue in development and also integration, right?
Don't need it because for admin purpose, admin related purpose, you need an application, right? In
Mm-hmm.
development, all the whole org is your application. Okay, so that kind of approach is there, means you can basically change, you can customize anything once you are doing the development. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
either it is custom or standard object or anything, you have, everything is same for you once you are a developer. Okay, for admins these differences are there. Okay, this is application, this is that, this is that. Okay, developer is not concerned about this. Developer is only concerned about the API name. Okay, this is the object, you need to do that there, and yes, we'll be doing it there. So either we are doing it in the hotel management system or sales app or service app, it does not matter for developers. Okay, so
Oh,
we can do if you want in the hotel management system, but we are not bothered about it. We can do in any or the development. Okay,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Any other question, guys? Anyone? And just heads up, guys, I'm stopping the recording. Hold on.